right, so Mom gave me a lesson on the easy way to make refrigerator pickles, but there's no better person to teach me how to make real good dill pickles than Char. Charlotte, how long have you been coming to Bauman Farms?
Well, about 40 years since you first started.
Yeah, and it's funny because this is my childhood kitchen, which is the blue house on the property. And I can remember as a kid sitting out on the kitchen table watching people pull in and all of us come running out of the house. Woohoo, customers here. So Char was one of those original customers that us kids all mobbed as she came in, and she's been making pickles ever since.
Ever since. Last year, I think I made 135 pounds of cucumbers.
I'm tired just hearing
into
that.
pickle. Well, 20 pounds at a time doesn't go so bad.
All right. So I've never done this before. I'm a complete novice. Where do I get started?
The first thing you do is you prep everything the night before. You
Okay,
get your
all right.
jars, you fill them with your dill.
Okay.
And
when you're using dill, you use actually more than just the blossom, right?
Oh yeah, I'll use the stem and everything, and especially if I run out, I'll go way down low on the stems. They have lots of flavor in them.
Okay, so you just kind of crunch them up, put them in.
Just shove them in there.
Okay, and you're doing this the night before?
I'm doing all this the night before.
Interesting, okay.
I'm putting, because when I get my cucumbers in the morning, I think the most important thing is that the fresher, the quicker you can do them, the better pickle you're gonna have.
All right.
So I get this all ready. I throw some garlic in here, and I don't anymore do these little heads like this. And I would cut these in here. There's a knife here. I'd cut these in half. If I'm gonna do the fresh garlic like this, I'm gonna cut it in half so it opens up and gives you more flavor. Without that, I don't care about that papery stuff, you know?
Okay, all right, because it's just for flavor, right?
Just for flavor.
Okay, good.
Now I'm going to put a grape leaf in this also. I don't use the elm. I use the grape leaf for crispness.
And just one? How many
No,
go in?
I'm going to put two in.
Two grape leaves.
Two grape leaves. And then it's purely a matter of personal taste.
All right.
Our family likes red peppers. We cannot make dill pickles without red peppers.
And that's going to add a little bit of heat to it.
Little heat.
Okay.
And one or two, whatever you want, you know, however hot you want it.
Okay.
So I'm going to put two in here. They're not real big.
And you use dried. Could you use fresh ones too?
I don't think so.
Use the dried ones. More flavor?
More flavor. And I just think, I don't know what would happen if you used the fresh ones in there. I don't know. I suppose it would be just fine. You're using fresh cucumbers.
But this is your recipe, so use the dried ones.
Okay.
Okay.
And then you have other things that you can add to that. If you don't want to, you don't have to, because that's what the recipe calls for right there. I have brown mustard seed that I have used.
Okay.
I love the pickling spice, but many in my family do not like that.
So you make some probably with and some without.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yellow mustard seed, use that too. I say if you like it, give it a try.
Okay, and about how much of that would you add?
I'd probably put a tablespoon of the pickling spice in.
Okay.
Teaspoon of the mustard seeds.
And you can obviously adjust that based on how much or dislike you have of those.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you put the pickling spice and stuff into the night before?
I do. You want me to do that?
Yeah, let's see. Okay, so about a tablespoon. And so this is all prepped and ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then the next morning, that's all I'm going to put in here.
Okay, so this is done the night before. These are going to sit on the counter and wait for you to come get some fresh pickles in the morning.
That's right.
Okay.
And they're going to be all ready to go. See, and I don't care so much about, I'd put more garlic in here than this.
Okay.
We'll probably
You'd put more, like 3 to 4 cloves in each one?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll be honest with you, I don't do this anymore. I go to Costco and I buy those great big bags
of them all peeled
garlic.
and ready to go?
Oh, yes.
All right.
And if I have leftover, then I just pickle garlic.
Why make this harder than it needs to be, right?
That's right.
Okay, so the jars are prepped.
Right.
Next morning, we've got it. So Char gets our small to medium pickles.
Yes.
So these are typically 3 to 4 inches, and I am very careful to make sure that that is all the bigger they are, because Char will let me know if they're too big in the morning.
I'd be willing to wait until next week if I can have the little ones.
We got
and
it.
The same way with the freshness. If you can't pick them on the day that I've got them ordered, I'll wait. I mean, I want freshness.
And that's why we pick them every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So you know you have fresh pickles. Okay.
Okay, now I'm just going to stack them in here, and I hold them and I try and layer them up. Now see this little blossom end?
Yeah.
You don't want that in there.
Okay, so kind of just rub that off?
I usually have a towel here and I'll rub it off. or I'll take my fingernail.
Okay.
And just be careful. If you leave that blossom in there, something happens to the brine. It gets cloudy and it starts kind of fizzy.
I feel like I should help.
Yeah, good.
Okay. See, my mom taught me right.
Yeah, she did.
All right. Okay, so we pack these in there as tight as you can get them, yes?
As tight as I can get them, and I like them to be,
so like
good.
2 layers usually?
2 layers.
Okay.
And this is perfect size for 2 layers.
Okay, good. I'll let the guys know they did a good job picking them.
Yeah, they
Right
did.
size. Char approved. Awesome. Okay.
Okay, we get these all shoved in here. You want it to look pretty too when you get finished. You want to be able to be. But if you can't get little ones, you can always use the bigger ones.
I know, but you
we
like
will
the little
take
ones.
whatever we can get.
Okay.
There, see how nice that looks?
All right.
Got any little baby ones I can stick.
Slide in the side. Wow, you really pack those
You
in
bet, I do.
Okay.
Because they will,
They'll shrink a little bit,
yeah,
like Mom was
I didn't
saying?
take the thing off of
Okay.
that one. This would be fun to see. Now we left one in here, where'd it go, that has the stem on it.
Oh.
It would be fun to set that jar aside
And
see
see
what happened to the brine
And
after a while.
I have friends that when they're making, they'll make a whole batch and they'll set 10 aside and call them 1. They'll label them and write down, I did this different, and then 2 is this different. So then you can practice and try and see, okay, number 1 was the gold standard for the year, and learn to figure out what's the best mix for your family. So you were telling me something interesting. If you don't have grape leaves, what can you use as an alternative?
Okay, I found that if you put 1 bare aspirin, just the regular size, the 375 or whatever it is, aspirin
Bare
in,
aspirin.
that it really helps keep them crisp.
Interesting. There is no end to the different ways to make pickles.
I guess not.
And I'm learning stuff all the time. This is amazing. Okay, so
All
we have
right.
the pickles all packed, ready to go.
Ready to go.
Next step is,
We boil the brine. We boiled the brine, and you pour the brine over.
what is in that?
The brine is 2 cups of water, 1 cup of dark vinegar with, the important thing is that it's 5% acidity.
Okay, it's 2 to 1.
2 to
Okay.
1, yeah.
Yep.
And 2 tablespoons of pickling salt. This canning pickling salt, that's important. You don't want anything with iodized, any kind of iodine in it.
Okay.
And 2 tablespoons of sugar.
Okay.
So bring that to a boil.
Put it all in, mix it up, bring it to a nice
to a boil.
rolling boil. Okay. Once you've done that, then we just pour it over the
We
top.
just pour it over the top.
Okay.
And I like to have my water on the stove in my canner, ready to go.
Oh, so on the stove, we've got the canner, which is essentially like just a big pot, right? With
Yep.
a rack in it.
Yeah.
And how, again, boiling? How hot is that?
I don't want to put these cold things or these warm things
Good
in
point.
boiling. I'm going to have it warm,
Okay.
but I don't want to break a jar.
Okay,
which
good. So
I
a
haven't
good
done
point.
that.
Thank you for doing that. I would have put it in boiling water. So we put
you
our
would have
lids.
been fishing them out of
And
the
you were telling me too, the lids, it's good to boil them ahead of time as well?
Exactly, yes, so that this rubber is nice and soft. You can put that on there, screw this down really nice and tight,
Okay.
and then just stick it in the water.
Okay.
And when we do that, I only bring it to a boil. I don't let these jars boil.
Okay.
I watch it carefully, and when it comes up to a boil,
Yep.
then out they come. And
Then we
that's
pull them out. And that's where it's good to have your little tongs that you pull them out.
Yeah.
And, pull them out,
Those.
and then, like, I just set them on the counter. Like,
yeah, just set them on the counter. I leave them there for about 24 hours.
okay.
Put them in the cupboard the next
So
day.
it sounds definitely like this is a multi-day process, yes?
It is.
Yeah, you need to set aside some time, great time with the family to put everything together. How long? You can't just eat them right away, right?
6 weeks.
6 weeks.
Although the kids have snuck them earlier
I
than that,
have no
and they
doubt.
are not that bad.
And one of the things, like, people come in all the time and ask me, like, what's the exact way to do canning and stuff? I always tell them that the Oregon State Extension Service has a hotline where you can call, because you can screw this up.
Yes,
And
you can.
You want to make sure that they are safe, that you've done all those things. The OSU Extension Service is great to answer a lot of your questions. You were telling me earlier that you thought about removing the salt from it because you didn't like all the salt.
Yeah, some of
And
it.
you called them and
I
they
ca-
said,
Don't do it. Don't do it. That's what keeps them preserved and pickled. And
That's
and good.
excellent advice. Char, this is amazing. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you.
I'm
This
really
has been fun.
I'm really excited. I'm gonna go try some pickles. I think my daughter and me, this is our weekend project. And I've got Char's recipe. Char's recipe will be in the comments to this video. Remember to give us a call because a lot of times pickles were out a week or two.
Yeah.
We go through a lot of pickles. Char is on the list. You got your order in for next week?
Yeah, I do.
Good. All right. Thank you, everyone, and good luck. We're looking forward to seeing
Thank
what you do.